Hello, everybody. So I am so passionate about getting this information out to the world. This information being the root cause of our anxiety, depression, low motivation, OCD, ADHD, relationship anxiety. Insert mental emotional health symptom here. My passion is helping people get to the root cause of that. And I'm passionate about it because of my own journey, navigating grief and loss, navigating suicidal depression, chronic anxiety, OCD moments, ADHD severely, all the things. My own personal journey with that, I was let down time and time again by Western medicine. We're not demonizing it, but it does a lot of treating the symptoms, not the root cause. I think we can agree on that. And you maybe have had that experience. Maybe you've, like me, went to a psychiatrist and said you were depressed or anxious, and the solution was handing you antidepressant or anxiety meds and not helping you understand your nervous system, how emotions even work. People are lacking education in emotions. This is just where we are in human evolution. We're just beginning to understand these systems. But this so happens to be my passion and what I want to help bring to the world. I am just so passionate about this because it has changed my life. I am a completely different person having discovered this stuff, and I watch my clients' lives transform every single day, like the most extreme results, watching people just transform before my eyes. And I'm to the point where I'm just like, I need this out into the world and I want to give it away for free. Of course, if you want to work with me one-on-one, I have paid offerings. I have a course, I have one-on-one work, but I want to just help. If you are looking for what is the root of your anxiety, your depression, if you want to understand yourself more, if you feel like you've been in talk therapy and you're just kind of like talking in circles about your trauma, or maybe you're learning a lot through podcasts or books, but you're just not feeling like you're actually embodying these changes. You might know a lot intellectually, but it's hard to get it into your body. We're just gonna do a mini training today. I will keep doing trainings. Please comment below if you have any requests for certain trainings or if you have a specific question. I'm pretty dedicated to coming on here and answering questions, and I will do a whole video about a question. But today I want to just start by sharing the tool that has completely transformed how I view anxiety, depression, low self-worth, OCD, all these things, relationship anxiety. And so I'm going to share my screen and share my favorite resource. This right here is the change triangle. So this is not something that I invented. This is from Hilary Jacobs Hendel. She's an author of a book called It's Not Always Depression. I cannot recommend her work enough. This has been so helpful in organizing symptoms. So let me just talk through this really quick. In my course, Groundwork Academy, I do a whole giant video on this, but I'm just gonna do a short version of it for you today. In the top left-hand corner, we have our defenses. This is anything that we do to avoid our emotions. This can be consciously or unconsciously. So think, I might be having an emotional experience and I go grab my phone, or maybe my habit is to go grab ice cream from the freezer or to call my friends and vent about it. I'm gonna do something because feeling my emotions feels unbearable. And again, you might be doing this consciously or unconsciously. There's times when you know you're trying to avoid an emotion by going on Netflix, and then there's other times where you might literally not even know you're avoiding an emotion and you're doing something impulsively, reactively, without even knowing it, habitually. Most of us understand that concept, but over here in the top right-hand corner is where things get really interesting, especially as somebody trying to heal anxiety or sick of anxiety. This is what's called inhibitory emotions. Anxiety, shame, and guilt, we talk about them like they're core emotions. They're actually not. They are protective mechanisms that keep us from feeling our core emotions. And I like thinking of anxiety or shame or guilt as a guard dog. So I imagine like a dog that has a name tag that says anxiety, for example, if you're somebody who struggles with chronic anxiety. And if you imagine this dog has been with you since birth and is trying to scan your environment constantly, gathering information and learning, how do I keep her safe? How do I keep him safe? You, right? This guard dog's only job is to keep you safe. So when something threatens your connection or your survival, it starts barking. It starts giving you signals. Think of your anxiety signals, like racing heart or all these thoughts. That's your guard dog trying to protect you because something feels unsafe. But what is it protecting you from is your core emotions. Our core emotions are fear, anger, sadness, disgust, joy, excitement, and sexual excitement. If any one of these don't feel safe at any given moment, then we are forced up to the top of the triangle. We're forced up here into anxiety, shame, or guilt, or our defense mechanisms. Again, we might not be consciously feeling like any of these are unsafe. Like, maybe if you're watching this, you might be like, oh yeah, I totally feel so uncomfortable being sad. I get anxious whenever I'm sad. Maybe you have that awareness. Or maybe you notice that if every time you get excited, it's like so hard for your nervous system to hold it, and you get anxious when you're actually excited about something. Or when there's confrontation, or you feel like you're mad at someone, or you feel like there has to be confrontation, or someone's confronting you or something, there's extreme anxiety. Maybe you have these awarenesses, but a lot of people also don't have the conscious awareness that these feel sticky for them. So I just want to name that. But when we feel like we can feel all of our core emotions safely, when we've learned that all of our core emotions are safe and they don't lead to disconnection and they're safe in our bodies, which is like not most people, when we do feel that though, we feel calm, curious, connected, compassionate, confident, courageous, and clear. This is the open-hearted state of the authentic self. Every one of you watching this, that is who you actually are. I want you to really hear that. Who you actually are, no matter what you're coming here with. Anxiety, depression, severe relationship anxiety, OCD. If you feel so insecure and not confident in yourself, whatever you're coming here with, you are actually calm, curious, connected, compassionate, confident, courageous, and clear when you feel safe enough. And maybe you've never experienced that. But when you feel safe enough, when you're not in survival mode, that is who you are. And what puts us in survival mode is these core emotions not being safe. This goes back to childhood more times than not, that when we learn from our caregivers that when we express anger, we get sent to our room. When we're sad, we're minimized and not empathized with. When we're excited or joyful, someone calls us annoying and tells us to quiet down. This is oftentimes with our caregivers doing the best they can with what they have. No one's intending to have us suppress our emotions often, right? It is just a natural reaction to lacking emotional intelligence. We're not blaming caregivers, we're not blaming parents, but when these emotions don't feel safe, we go up to these defense mechanisms. So basically, when I'm working with clients, what I'm helping clients do is build their capacity to feel their emotions without accidentally, unconsciously going to these inhibitory emotions or these defense mechanisms. And when we can start tracking and noticing when that's happening, like, oh, what you're actually feeling is anger, but notice how anxiety comes up here to try to protect you, right? And the work that I'm doing with my clients is helping them build their tolerance to the emotions. And I can just tell you from my own experience what this was like for me. I had so much repressed anger, for example, and when I learned how to feel my repressed anger, I was liberated from suicidal depression. Suicidal depression, in my opinion, is anger turned inward. When we don't feel safe enough to feel angry at who we're actually angry at or what we're actually angry at, there's not enough safety there, we turn it in on ourselves. And when I was able to recognize that defense and learn how to feel my emotion, which is not the easiest thing in the world to do, but it takes practice, and when we can do it, when we learn how to do it, we can be liberated from these sensations. When I learned how to feel anger, my suicidal depression literally went away. So this is attempt number 1. I just want to share this change triangle with you. Let me know if you have any questions about the change triangle. I would be happy to answer them, happy to dive deeper. And this is just step 1 of free training with Groundwork Academy. I'll see you guys soon.